Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, and I want y'all to listen carefully. When a man is genuinely interested in a woman, a high-value woman, he doesn't just come out and say, "I want you." No, sir. He tests. He tests because he wants to make sure he's getting the real deal. He wants to know that what he's pursuing is worth it. And ladies, don't take it personal when he does. It's not about mistrust. It's about value. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break this down for you because this right here is something a lot of women miss. When a man is interested in a woman, especially a high-value woman, he's not going to just walk in and say, "Hey, you're perfect, I'm yours." No, sir. He's going to put her through little situations, little moments, little tests, not to hurt her, but to see what she's really made of. And one of the very first things he tests is patience. Now, don't get it twisted. He's not testing to see if you'll bend over backward for him or drop everything he wants. No, he's watching how you react when things don't go exactly his way, when life throws a little chaos, when he's not giving you the attention you think you deserve. Because a high-value man, a man who knows his worth, he wants a woman who doesn't lose her cool at the first sign of trouble. He wants someone who can hold it together, who can take a step back, assess the situation, and respond with calm and dignity. Think about it this way. Life isn't smooth, and neither is dating. Men are looking for a woman who can weather the storms without flipping out, without making mountains out of molehills. He's going to say things, do things, maybe even act a little unpredictable, not to disrespect you, but to see if you crumble under pressure or if you rise. He wants to see if you can handle frustration, disappointment, and unexpected twists with composure. Because a man doesn't want drama. He doesn't want someone who's constantly upset or stressed by every little inconvenience. He wants someone steady, someone strong, someone who can meet his energy without chaos. And here's the thing, patience isn't just about waiting on him. It's about how you carry yourself in every situation. A high-value woman knows that she can't control everything, and she doesn't waste her energy reacting to every little bump in the road. She understands that how she responds to testing moments says more about her character than anything he could ever say or do. He's watching how you manage your emotions, how you handle the unexpected, how you maintain your dignity when things don't go your way. That's the real test. Now, men may not always explain this. They don't have to. They just watch, and if you pass, they notice. They notice the calm, the grace, the ability to navigate life's little challenges without turning it into a full-blown crisis. That right there makes you irresistible. That right there tells a man, this woman is rare. This woman is high value. She's the one I want to build with, to grow with, to respect for the long haul. So remember, ladies, when he's testing your patience, when he's seeing if you can handle his moods, his delays, his little quirks, don't get offended. Stand tall, stay composed, and show him exactly what patience with grace looks like. That's how high value women win every time. When a man is genuinely interested in a high value woman, he's going to test something that most women don't even realize, how she values her own time and her independence. This isn't about him being cruel or distant. It's about seeing if she's someone who has her own life, her own goals, her own fire. He wants to know if she's a woman who's capable of standing on her own 2 feet, someone who doesn't need constant validation or attention to feel worthy. High value women understand this instinctively. They know that their time is precious and they're not going to bend their schedules or their lives around someone else just because he wants them to. A man might take a little longer to reply to a message, or he may have a busy day and not call as much as she expects. He's watching her reaction. If she panics, worries, or immediately becomes desperate for his attention, he knows she's not confident in her independence. But if she responds with calm, if she continues to focus on her own priorities, if she shows that her life is full and she isn't waiting by the phone, that man sees something rare. He sees a woman who values herself enough to live fully regardless of his presence, and that independence. That's magnetic. Men are drawn to it. It goes beyond just waiting on him. It's about how she manages her life when he's around and when he's not. A high-value woman has passions, hobbies, friendships, and responsibilities. She isn't defined by a man's availability or approval. She knows how to enjoy her own company, and that confidence makes her even more desirable. He's testing to see if she'll drop everything the second he shows interest, or if she maintains her sense of self, showing him that her life is already rich and meaningful. A man wants a partner who adds to his life, not someone who loses herself to fit into his world. The independence test also shows him how mature she is emotionally. A woman who understands the value of her own time, doesn't waste it on games, overthinking, or chasing after someone who isn't fully present. She recognizes her worth, and that makes her untouchable in the eyes of a man who's serious. He notices when she can balance attention with self-respect, when she can make time for him, but not at the expense of herself. That balance is exactly what he's searching for. Ultimately, a man tests independence because he wants assurance that the woman he's pursuing is strong, confident, and self-sufficient. He wants to be with someone whose life is complete on her own, someone who will enhance his life rather than depend on him for fulfillment. When she passes this test, when she demonstrates that she values her time and herself, he knows he's found a rare gem, a high-value woman worth investing in, loving, and respecting. When a man is interested in a high-value woman, one of the biggest tests he gives is about her values and boundaries. This is where a lot of women get it wrong because they think men are only testing looks, charm, or sex appeal. No. What a man really wants to see is whether she knows who she is, what she stands for, and what she will or won't tolerate. He's watching to see if she compromises her standards for attention, for validation, or for temporary comfort. High-value women don't compromise. They have principles, and they stick to them no matter the pressure. Boundaries are the ultimate measure of self-respect. A man might push, poke, or even test her limits, not to break her down, but to see if she has the strength to hold her ground. He wants to know if she can say no when something doesn't align with her values or her comfort zone. That's not rejection, that's clarity. And when a woman stands firm, she earns something far more important than approval. She earns respect. Men are naturally drawn to women who respect themselves because that respect sets the tone for how he will treat her. A woman without boundaries, he might like her, but he won't ever fully value her. Values go beyond boundaries. Men look for consistency in character. How does she treat people who can't benefit her? Does she speak the truth even when it's uncomfortable? Does she act with integrity in small, everyday moments? Because here's the truth, integrity isn't built in grand gestures. It's built in the way a woman navigates her life when no one is watching. High-value women know this. They live by a code, and that code is non-negotiable. A man who sees that knows he's dealing with someone rare, someone who will challenge him to be better, someone who will build with him instead of taking from him. The test of values and boundaries also reveals emotional strength. He wants to know if she's grounded, if she can handle conflict without crumbling, if she can express herself firmly without losing grace. A high-value woman communicates clearly, defends her standards, and never allows someone to guilt or manipulate her into lowering herself. That combination of strength and wisdom is irresistible. Men don't just want a woman to say she has standards, they want to see her live them. They want to see her make choices, navigate difficult situations, and still hold on to who she is at her core. That's the test. And when a woman passes it, she doesn't just gain a man's interest, she earns his admiration, his trust, and his desire. Men respect women who are firm in their values and strong in their boundaries, because those are the women worth loving, worth pursuing, and worth keeping. One of the biggest tests a man will put a high-value woman through is loyalty and trust. This is a deeper level of testing because he's trying to figure out if she's someone he can rely on, someone who's emotionally secure, someone who won't crumble when challenges arise. Men want to know that the woman they're investing in is not just present when it's convenient, but present when it counts. He wants assurance that she will stand by him, not because she's forced to, but because she chooses to. Loyalty isn't about blind obedience, and trust isn't about naivety. It's about character, integrity, and the kind of emotional strength that forms the foundation of lasting relationships. He may not always explain it, but you'll see it in the little things. A man might flirt with other women in conversation, maybe even jokingly, or talk about situations that could make a lesser woman insecure. He's not trying to hurt you, he's watching your reaction. Does your security and yourself waver? Do you panic, overreact, or lash out? A high-value woman doesn't. She knows her worth, she knows what she brings to the table, and she doesn't need to compete for attention or prove herself in unhealthy ways. That kind of response, or rather non-response, is exactly what a man is looking for. Trust is another layer of the test. He wants to see if you are someone who respects boundaries, keeps confidences, and demonstrates consistency. A man doesn't want a woman who talks behind his back or acts impulsively with sensitive information. He's testing to see if he can rely on you emotionally. Can you handle him when he's vulnerable? Can you support him without trying to control or manipulate? These tests are subtle, but they reveal a lot. When a woman proves she can handle these situations with grace and maturity, she signals that she is a safe harbor, someone he can trust, someone he can build a life with. Loyalty and trust also reflect emotional intelligence. A high-value woman understands that relationships are a two-way street. She knows how to communicate openly, manage her emotions, and maintain respect even during disagreements. She doesn't let jealousy or insecurity dictate her actions. Men are drawn to that level of maturity because it creates stability. Stability is rare, and men recognize it immediately. A woman who passes this test shows that she's not just emotionally capable, but emotionally reliable. Ultimately, a man tests loyalty and trust because he's looking for security, not just for himself, but for the relationship. He wants to know that he can invest emotionally without fear of betrayal or unnecessary drama. When a woman demonstrates unwavering loyalty, when she earns his trust, she doesn't just capture his attention, she captures his heart. That's why these tests are so important and why high-value women who handle them correctly always stand out in a man's eyes. One of the most powerful tests a man gives a high-value woman is about ambition. Men want a partner who has dreams, goals, and the drive to achieve them. They want to see if a woman is content to sit back and watch life pass her by, or if she's actively creating her own path. This isn't about competing with him or trying to overshadow his success. It's about complementing each other, building together, and motivating one another to be better. A high-value woman understands that ambition is attractive, not intimidating, and she knows how to balance her goals with a healthy, supportive partnership. A man will watch to see how a woman handles her own pursuits. Does she have a plan? Is she passionate about something beyond the relationship? Does she show determination even when things get tough? These are the signs he's looking for because ambition signals that she's independent, capable, and confident. A woman who is ambitious doesn't need constant validation, and that's exactly the type of woman a man wants by his side. She challenges him in the right way, inspires him to grow, and adds real value to the relationship without threatening his sense of self. This test isn't always obvious. He might casually ask about her career, her hobbies, or her future plans. He's listening not just for words, but for attitude and energy. Is she excited about her own journey? Does she show resilience when obstacles come? A man wants someone who can dream big, but also take practical steps toward those dreams. High-value women understand the balance between vision and action, and that balance is magnetic. Men are naturally drawn to women who are going somewhere, who have a purpose, and who live with intention. Another way men test ambition is by observing how a woman reacts to his own goals and successes. A high-value woman doesn't feel threatened by his achievements. Instead, she celebrates them, supports them, and looks for ways to grow together. She knows that ambition in a relationship is not a competition, it's a partnership. She uplifts, she motivates, and she encourages, which creates an environment where both partners can thrive. That's the kind of woman a man wants to invest in emotionally, financially, and mentally. Ambition also reveals a woman's resilience and work ethic. Men want to know if she can handle challenges without losing focus, if she's consistent, disciplined, and committed to her own growth. That's the kind of energy that strengthens a relationship and ensures that it's built on mutual respect and shared vision. A man who sees a woman who is ambitious, balanced, and supportive recognizes that she's rare, and he knows he doesn't want to let her go. Ultimately, ambition is about complementing, not competing, and that's why men test it. When a woman demonstrates drive, focus, and purpose while supporting and uplifting her partner, she passes this test with flying colors. Men want a partner who adds to their life, not someone who takes from it. And ambition done right shows exactly that. One of the most subtle yet critical tests a man gives a high-value woman is about emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence isn't just about being nice or sweet. It's about how a woman navigates her emotions, understands the emotions of others, and responds in ways that build connection rather than chaos. Men want to see if a woman can handle difficult conversations, manage conflict, and remain composed under pressure. They're looking for someone who doesn't let emotions run the show, someone who can think, reflect, and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Emotional intelligence is the foundation for stability in any relationship, and men know that a woman who possesses it is worth more than gold. He will test it in subtle ways first. He might bring up a sensitive topic, mention a stressful situation, or share his frustrations to see how she responds. Does she listen attentively? Does she empathize without judgment? Does she offer support without overstepping boundaries? High-value women understand that listening is more important than reacting. They know that giving space, validating feelings, and responding with wisdom is far more powerful than jumping to conclusions or escalating tension. Men notice this immediately because it signals emotional maturity and reliability, qualities that cannot be faked and cannot be taught overnight. Men also want to see how a woman handles disappointment or disagreement. Life isn't always smooth, and a relationship will face challenges. A man is testing to see if she can communicate honestly and respectfully when things don't go her way. A high-value woman doesn't resort to yelling, passive, aggressive behavior, or manipulative tactics. She communicates with clarity, patience, and a willingness to understand. Even when emotions are high, that ability to maintain composure and speak truthfully without creating unnecessary drama is incredibly attractive and reassuring. Emotional intelligence also shows up in how a woman manages herself outside the relationship. Men observe whether she can regulate her emotions, handle stress effectively, and maintain balance in her personal and professional life. A high-value woman is aware of her triggers and doesn't let temporary frustrations affect her long-term stability. She can navigate challenges, adapt to change, and maintain a sense of calm and perspective. That kind of energy draws men in because it creates safety, trust, and a feeling that life with her will be grounded rather than chaotic. Another aspect of this test is empathy. Men want to know if a woman can connect with others, not just them. Can she understand the feelings of those around her and respond appropriately? Can she support, uplift, and inspire even when it doesn't directly benefit her? Emotional intelligence is about balance. It's about giving, receiving, listening, and responding with insight. A woman who demonstrates empathy consistently shows that she's capable of nurturing a healthy and lasting connection. Finally, men test emotional intelligence because it signals long-term compatibility. A woman who is emotionally intelligent can handle both success and failure gracefully, can communicate effectively without fear or defensiveness, and can support a man while maintaining her own identity. She provides stability in moments of chaos and clarity in moments of confusion. That level of awareness, patience, and composure is rare, and when a man finds it in a woman, he knows he has discovered someone extraordinary. Emotional intelligence isn't just attractive, it's essential for a relationship that lasts.